How many Parshiyot we have this week?
2 parshas. It's a double parsha.
Yeah, like today and another one, a third one, a portion of the third one, right?
Yakel.
No, החודש. Yakel Pikudei is 1 and 2. And then we have
the parshas the Chodesh. Okay.
Yeah, right. So there are four parshiyot that we read, which is we started with the Shkalim, Zachor, we had Para last week, and now we have the Chodesh. And basically, it's a preparation, right? So our life is a cycle, Rosh Hashanah to Rosh Hashanah. Surprisingly, it's not the first month. Actually, the first month we're going to do Mevarachim HaChodesh and do the Chodesh. So they have 4 parshiyot that we're reading, it, which was one is Shkalim, one is Rosh Chodesh Adar, and we should increase our simcha, our joy, be happy, happy, happy. Second one is we have Zachor, to remember what Amalek did to us. This year we had a break, and then we had Para, which is come to purify us. Now that we are pure and holy, we have the Chodesh. We're going to sanctify, we're going to be Kaddish the Chodesh, which is Chodesh Nisan, the Chodesh of Geulah, the redemption. And it's a cycle from one year to year. So I just want to use, yeah. What?
I said, no, that was a trick question.
Okay. So now we're going to read about the Parashat HaChodesh. החודש לזה לכם ראש חודשים. So it's not from V'yakel Pikudei. We did it many times. Just want to read about Netivot Shalom. We do Netivot Shalom על התורה. But it is related to this week because it's before Rosh Chodesh Nisan, which is the first month, right? ויאמר השם אל משה ואל אהרון in the land of Egypt. So that was actually the first mitzvah. לאמור החודש הזה לכם ראש חודשים. So Hashem is talking to Moshe and Aaron, is telling him about this is the head of the month. This is the first month to the months of the year. And our sages said that the rejuvenating of Chodesh Nisan is Rosh Verishon למעלה מכל זמני התחדשות של כל השנה. That's like the beginning of the rejuvenating, resetting, whatever you want to call it, the new month of the new year that is renewed every year. And the explanation, according to what it says in the Holy Book, that each and every year, it's not only that the time is renewed and we say, this is Tafshin Pei Hey, Tafshin Pei Vav, etc., etc., right? It said this is like a new path or a new way of work serving Hashem. דרך חדשה בעבודת השם. ומתן התחדשותה, and the time of rejuvenating, it's in Chodesh Nisan, which is the beginning of the year basically. And therefore from Nisan, היו מביאים כבר את הקורבנות מהתרומה החדשה, so they bring the sacrifices for the new teruma, right? And not from the old one. Why? לפי שעיקר עבודת השם של ישראל הייתה על ידי בית המקדש. So our main עבודה at the time was by the בית המקדש, and we had the מחצית השקל. That's why we were having that parsha of Shkalim, bringing, well, there were a few types of money that we used to bring. One of them was half a shekel, that each and every Jew need to have a connection to the Beit HaMikdash. So it was not only for the house itself, for housekeeping, it was also for sacrifices that should be from the donation of the Machatzit HaShekel of Bnei Israel, and that was connecting them to the Beit HaMikdash. And each and every year they used to do that. Right? So each one of us has a part, a physical part of Beit HaMikdash and a physical part in the Korbanot. And מכיוון every year and year you need to have it, שבכל שנה יש דרך עבודת השם מקודשים. So every time it's a different, right? We should be aiming for, have a kavanah that every day we should be better than yesterday, and so on and so on. So because there is a rejuvenating and a new day, right? We're not supposed to be like yesterday. So therefore we need to bring the sacrifices from the new truma, the new donation. So everything is new, everything is a cycle. And therefore, it's starting with the first month, which is Rishon Lachem Lechotshei Hashana. Okay, and another. Me'inyan Rishon Lachem Lechotshei Hashana, the first month of the year. It's including the high level in Avodat Hashem, because Pesach is Rosh Hashanah Le'emunah. It's like the new year for faith. As I said, B'zchut HaEmunah, with the merit, because we had the merit, right? Bnei Israel had the merit. That's the last thing. We were in the 49th level of Tumah. 51 is no Emunah. That was the last resort that we had, that we ordered to the Ummah, and because of that, we were redeemed. and because of our faith, we're going to be redeemed again in the future. So in Egypt, they didn't have any spiritual power or any spiritual strength besides the faith that they had. And it said, "V'yamen." Okay. So the strength of the Emunah, as it says in Tehillim, that the faith will be surrounding us. That is surrounding us in all the other levels that we have, is according to the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh, it says here something in Yiddish, which I'm not going to attempt even to say. And tzaddikim amru that מה שצדיק אחד, so the sage said, what is one tzaddik, one righteous person is higher than the other friend, is because his faith have more clarity. That's why I have a higher level. And therefore, the other side, so it says, even though we have maybe in the lower level, that when a Jew is in the allegedly sink in the 49 level and Tuma, he doesn't see any way out, then even then, בזכות האמונה נגלו, but he still need to hold on to his faith. And it says, ואמונתך סביבותיך, surrounding the entire part of the person. That is surrounding מקיפה, it says, from the brain, from the dot, and the השקפות, our observation, our opinion, etc., through the heart, which is responsible for the desire and all the wishes that we have, until the body itself that they have, the emunah, the physical body. And we learned many times that Abraham Avinu needed to stretch his hand by force because the body knew that Hashem doesn't want Abraham to shech Yitzchak. So Abraham was forcing his hand because the hand knew that was not the task, right? So he said the emunah, the faith, is surrounding the person, wrapping him from toes to head, or head to toes. And even the bones will have in the okay, and another. And it's including in Pachi Hashana, Godel Avat Hashem Shenitgalta B'Chodesh. So that month, the first month, which is Nisan, which is by the way, is also the spring, right? Everything is going to sprout, and we see, unbelievable, right? Today, a few days ago, or a week ago, we had snow, we were freezing, and suddenly today, it's hot. So he said that the time of rejuvenating, and that month, Nisan, Hashem revealed his love to us. That's like the beginning, it's the starting of a new cycle, the love between us and Hashem. So even though we were in sync into the 49 level of Tumah, Hashem revealed his love to us. He was calling us with my firstborn, right? And he was revealing his love to us, etc., etc. And that was the great, and this is the great level of Hashem loving us. And it says in the Midrash, right, we know that Moshe had difficulties to understand or to believe that Hashem is going to redeem because we're at the 49 level. And the Midrash said, the Chafetz HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem wants to redeem us, and he doesn't look at what we did. And again, we mentioned many times, Hashem is not overlooking. But because he loves us so much, he was looking to the other side. Doesn't look at the eye. And we said that in the Haggadah of Pesach, right, which is very soon, that the Satan, the evil one, was trying to prosecute us, and he's using an argument which looked like a very logical one. He said, Hashem, why are you drowning the Egyptian and you don't drown Bnei Israel in the Red Sea, in Yam Suf? They are doing idols, and they were doing idols. Right? It seems to be like it's a good argument. But no, Hashem loves us, and we didn't do it because it was what we wanted to do. It was because the surrounding, we were influenced. So now he says, so what's the reason was for the establishment of the Mishkan in the first of Nisan? Because the work itself was done in 25th of Kislev. It says in the Midrash Shabbat, because the Mishkan, the thing of that was the Gilui Godel Avato Itbarach L'Israel, that it was to show how Hashem loved us so much. So that's why doing it in the first of Nisan. It's in the Midrash, Shmot Rabbah, on the Pasuk, Ve'asu Kol Chacham Lev, right? So Hashem filled Betzalel and Oliav and other ones that were dealing with the building of the Mishkan. He put them wisdom of the heart. So who הדבר? He said, משיר השירים, מים רבים לכל כבוד דבר, right? Like, lots of water to not turn off the love. What are the lots of water? plenty of water. These are the Ovdei Kochavim, the idol worshippers, the star worship. That if they would gather all these idol worshippers to try to nullify Chas v'Chalila, the love between us and Hashem, they couldn't. As it says, V'ahav et Yaakov, I love Yaakov. Imiti neshit kolom beto. Now it's quoting from Shir HaShirim. So if a person would give all his money that he has for love, people will despise him. But my sons, they build me a mikdash of Yeriot, right? So they built me a mikdash. And if you look at it, you know, yeah, there was gold over there, there was silver, but there was also wood, wool, right? וירדתי ושכנתי בתוכם, and I went down and I dwell within them. As it says, ולא יכול משה לבוא אל אוהל מועד, but Moshe couldn't get into the oil moed because the honor of Hashem was filling the Mishkan. That was showing how Hashem loved us. And ביום שמחת ליבו, right, that was the building of בית המקדש. So he said, this is Masechet Tanit, the quoting over there, a verse. ביום שמחת ליבו, the day of when his heart was filled with joy, that was the בית המקדש, which you just metaphorically was the day that Hashem was very happy. And therefore, the Akamat Mishkan needs to be also in that time of the Chodesh of love. It's not the Valentine, right? It's a spiritual love between us and Hashem. In 1st of Nisan, which is the Rosh Hashanah, the new year for love. And that was the appropriate time for him to come and dwell. Because the Pesach, the holiday of Pesach, is also the first month of the year. And we can achieve many levels. So everything is falling in the right place. It's the first month, everything rejuvenating, everything starting to sprout. Hashem loved us so much. We were redeemed from Egypt, we had the faith, etc. It's the beginning. And also, in this month, which is Rishon Lekol Chodshei Hashana, it's the beginning of it. They said, Nisan Rosh HaChodesh Rosh Hashanah LeRegalim. It's the first regal, right? Pesach, and then we have the Shavuot, and then we have Sukkot. And it's also the Rosh Hashanah for cleaving to Hashem, Vekut b'Hashem. It says in the Holy Book, B'inyan Seder HaMoadot, in the organizing of the order of the holiday. That in the head of all the holidays, we have Pesach, because it's the first month, the first Chag. And that is like the erusin, the engagement. It says in the Sefer Bet Avraham, said about the 4 kosot, Umadane Asar, right? It is describing here like the process of an engagement. And all the mitzvot and everything, which is between the bride and the groom, the fiancé, and the fiancé. שבציאת מצרים נהיו ישראל עם, right? So when Hashem redeemed us and left Egypt, then we actually became a nation. Like the engagement between us and Hashem, this is what started. That was the beginning. ואתם הדבקים בשם אלוקיכם בבחינת אירוסין, that was in Pesach. But then we had Chag HaShavuot. That was actually the marriage itself, the ceremony. It said the Yom Chatunato, that's the day of Matan Torah, right? So we're starting the engagement, the process on Pesach when we left Egypt. Then we went into Shavuot, we had the wedding, we had a nice reception, the smorgasbord there, or whatever you call it, right? The dish. And then Sukkot, that was the time when we go into the Sukkah. Hashem is like, again, metaphorically bringing us to his room, to his house. And the Shmini Atzeret, that's the day of the Yichud. It's a process. You see, everything is a process. This is the explanation for Rishon Ulachem LeChodshei Hashana, that's the first for the month, for the year. So Pesach, Tchila, Verosh Letzvekut, Kodesh Avichu V'Tel. So that's the beginning. That's the first step that we have between us and Hashem. And the main thing is everything is depending on the beginning, how it is, right? First impression. So he said that after that, it's just the continuance of what it started. So in the first day, in the first Chag of Pesach, it's the beginning of the cleaving to Hashem, and then we became closer to Him, right? And then we will be able to be more closer, and we actually feel the Kirvat Hashem, how Hashem is close to us in engagement, right? So the Kala is more closer to her bride, and then we have the marriage, which is even more, and then the whole thing is continuing to Sukkot, to Shmini Atzeret, etc. And all of these prinot, all of these aspects, it's also exists. Again, we're always coming back to Shabbos. כל בחינות אלו איתנו גם בשבת קודש. מה שכתוב, right, וברכתו מכל העמים, and Hashem blessed Shabbat from all the days, and sanctified וקידשתו מכל הזמנים. So the Shabbat is the foundation of our faith. Because 6 days Hashem created the world, the Shamayim v'Ta'aretz, and the 7th day, Shabbat v'Nafash. That's like the foundation for the love between us, and this is the mark, this is the sign between us and Hashem. The oti benu benachem. And it's an infinite covenant between us and Hashem, not like the other one that said, yeah, he regret and he chose us. Nonsense. It's an infinite covenant between us and Hashem, and it's rejuvenating and repeating itself every Shabbos, cycle. And in Shabbat also we have that level of engagement and marriage, etc. Right? First, when each day have its mate, Sunday have Monday, Tuesday have Wednesday, right? And then Saturday say, I left alone. Who is my mate? Hashem said, Knesset Israel ben Zugach. And have all the three parts of the cleaving to Hashem. And it says in the Avodah, we have the Leil Shabbat Kodesh. This is for the Irusin and the Kiddushin, right? And then Shomrim Batfilah, Bata Kiddashta, that's the Kiddusha, right? Yom Shabbat Kodesh, it's like the marriage itself. And it says, V'yisrach Moshe v'matnat chiko, right? So the nighttime is for the bride, the daytime is for the groom, and Sudah Shlishit is the time of all wills, the will of all wills. The Rava der Avim. And this is the Yichud, this is actually the unity between us and Hashem in Sudah Shlishit. So Shabbat have all the levels and everything. And therefore, Chag HaPesach also, it's called Shabbat, right? And this is the classic debate between the Tzdukim or the Shemronim, that they take literally and they said, yeah, Memuchrat Shabbat is the first Shabbat, but we said no, Pesach is the Shabbat. Then you started to count the Omer, not for the first Shabbat after Pesach. Shabbat itself is called Pesach. Sorry, Pesach is called Shabbat. And this is the special level. So we started this Dvar Torah from Netivot Shalom about החודש הזה, לכם ראש חודשים, which every year we have a new path in Avodat Hashem. The whole creation is rejuvenating by this Chodesh. This is the first mitzvah that Hashem told Moshe and Aaron in Mitzrayim. And it's like a process between Pesach and all the way up to Shmini Atzeret, which is the engagement, the Rusim, and then the marriage, and then the V'yani Chadarav, and then the unity with Hashem. Thank you very much for listening. And Be'ezrat Hashem, we should see lots of miracles in this. I don't know, from now on, lots of miracles, Be'ezrat Hashem. Mashiach